Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning. Good morning. What's happening? What's happening?
So exciting to see you.
I'm thrilled to be a part of this. You know, I love me some 52 Limited. I love you guys.
We love you too. It's like family, friend, partner, collaborator, all of the above. It's just nice to see you.
Yes. It's
I
good
know
to be seen. As my grandfather says, good to be seen. Better to be seen than viewed, he would say. in this right in this era right now, that's a good message.
Totally. Well, it's nice to see that you're safe and happy and healthy, considering all of the things. I want to go ahead and welcome everyone to 10 Minutes with 52 Limited. And I'm so excited to introduce our guest speaker today, Kevin Carroll, friend and family member to 52 Limited, and just a person who is so wise and so generous and inspiring. And we're just excited to hear all of the things that you have to share with us today.
So what I plan to do for all of our attendees, right, and like-minded individuals. So if you're connecting into this, then we're already a tribe, right? Because you're about, trying to raise your game and trying to be better. And so let's start with, I have this pin on my hat here, and it's the Society for Better Grown-Ups. And so I'm a proud member of that. And Brad Montague, he's the individual who actually created Kid President. And so he's a brilliant guy, clever guy, and he actually started a society for being a better grown-up to our next generation of leaders, makers, doers, and dreamers. So this is his new book that he just created. And it's brilliant. It's so good. And I just got my copy here. And so you also could join the society. So I joined the society a few weeks ago. So let's just start off with that. Right? Let's be better grown-ups, right? Because our next gen of leaders, makers, doers, and dreamers, they do what they see. So they're modeling us. And so the more that we start to think about that, how can we actually bring an optimistic attitude to the difficult that we're dealing with right now? And so I had this quote from Guillermo del Toro, and it comes from Time Magazine, did a whole issue on optimism. How about that? And that was a couple years ago, but I want to share this quote. Optimism is our instinct to inhale while suffocating, our need to declare what needs to be in the face of what is. Optimism is not uncool. It is rebellious, daring, and vital. I'll say it again. It is rebellious, daring, and vital. So we could actually surrender to all the worry, concern, and upheaval that's going on. And I know a lot of people are dealing with some really difficult situations, but we gotta hold out hope because we know we're gonna get to the other side of this. There is another side to this. This is not going to live in perpetuity. It's not going to. We know that. We're gonna get to the other side. We're already seeing evidence of that over in China where they're getting back to business, but it's going to take some time. So how do we actually model our behavior and behave in a way that brings a level of optimism and hope, not just to our family directly, whoever we're connected to, but at large? And so the more that I started to think about that, I thought I would share these optimistic things. First, the idea of being a better grown-up, right? Then this idea that optimism is rebellious, daring, and vital. That idea. Now I'm going to give you some facts. Jerome Powell, who is the head of the Federal Reserve Bank, the chair for that, he was on the Today Show a couple weeks ago. I don't know if any of you got a chance to see him being interviewed there. It was amazing to hear him share his thoughts around the economy. But he said one thing, and I thought I would share this quote from him. People are being asked to close their businesses and stay home. At a certain point, we will get the virus under control, and at that point, confidence will return. He adds, the rebound at that point could be vigorous. The rebound could be vigorous. So how are you getting ready to be ready for when that's ready? How are we preparing ourselves for that rebound? Because the head of the Fed, the chair of the Fed, is not going to say that casually. Never. That's not the way that works. The head of the Fed has to basically watch his words or her words very carefully. So for him to use the word vigorous, I was like, whoa, okay, that's not a casual thing. So when you start to think about vigor and vigorous and that whole idea of it ratcheting up really quickly, how are you preparing yourself for that moment? So one of the things we don't want to get is caught unaware and prepared, not prepared. We want to be prepared for that moment. So what are you working on? How are you preparing? How are you getting yourself ready? I know I'm not being some Pollyanna attitude about this. There are some people dealing with some difficult, but we have to be watching out for each other, supporting each other. I think it's really amazing that the Pi group with Rick Tarot, I'm probably not going to say his last name properly, Tarotzik, right? I think that's Turcosi, Rick Turcosi. He's been dropping all kinds of resources and support. He's been an amazing person throughout this. He's a mensch. In so many ways, he's been dropping pearls. Here's a resource. Here's a thing, especially for all the small businesses, independent contractors, freelancers. So really check in with him and follow him. He's been sharing so much. Stephen Green has been amazing that way too, sharing all kinds of resources. They're out there. There are things available, and we're going to get through this. I truly believe that. I have no doubt we're going to find a way. But I love the idea that the chair of the Federal Reserve Bank is putting out there that he believes that the rebound will be vigorous. So preparing for that, I think, is so important. I love this idea. My buddy Jamie Mustard actually created this: do business. How do we encourage businesses to do business? This is not the time to shut your business down and not do anything. We need you to be doing business. And so how do we encourage people to do business with us? But also, how are we reimagining how to do business? How are we reimagining the way that we do our business? And even how are we keeping ourselves sharp and ready for when we do get on the other side of this? So I've been doing several different things. So I'm a polyglot. I speak several languages. So I've actually been learning Spanish during this downtime. So just something to do to keep myself challenged. But even more importantly, what I've been doing is actively participating on podcasts, Zoom calls, WebExes, just keeping my voice and my act sharp. Just dropped a new limited podcast series called Cataclysm. So I'm working. I'm going to keep working so that I'm ready. So how are we getting ready to be ready for when it's ready, that rebound? And I'm going to share with you some resources after this with Elaine that you guys will be able to reference back to. And one of the most important things I want to leave you with is this simple little truth. A pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity. An optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. That should be your attitude. Keep that mindset. Stay Rona free. Flatten the curve. Work from home. Stay at home. Godspeed. I love me some PDX and Rose City. You're stronger and better together. And we have an indomitable creative energy and spirit here. So we're going to get through this. Be well, y'all. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Kevin. And thank you, everyone, for spending 10 minutes with 52 Limited today. Be ready to be ready.